I was looking at my phone this morning, which is a dangerous way to start the day, I know,
Mm, yeah.
always. And I saw this post from a guy I went to high school with. He just got this massive promotion, corner office, view of the skyline, the whole package.
Right.
And my immediate reaction wasn't good for him. It was this weird sinking feeling in my stomach, a sudden
Yeah.
panic that I'm falling behind.
Ah, the comparison trap.
Yeah.
It's basically the engine that keeps the modern world running.
Right. But here's the thing. I remember like 5 years ago, I was desperate for the job I have now.
Hmm.
I told myself if I just land this role, I'm good, I'm set. And I got it. I was happy for maybe 3 weeks. And now the goalpost has moved.
Mm.
It feels like I'm on a treadmill that's just picking up speed, but I'm not going anywhere.
Mm.
Is that just me being ungrateful, or is the game kind of rigged?
It is absolutely not just you, and rigged might be the perfect word for it. You're describing a sensation that isn't a bug in the system. It's the operating system itself.
Well, that is a terrifying thought to kick things off with.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's the centerpiece of what we're digging into today. We are back with another deep dive into the Tafsir-e Qur'an lecture series, this time focusing on week 2, inspired by the teachings of Dr. Haider Riza.
Okay.
And honestly, this isn't just a theological discussion. This is like a forensic analysis of why we feel that specific anxiety you just described.
I'm ready for the diagnosis. And we should probably mention we're pulling from a massive body of work here. Dr. Haider Riza has, what, over 40 years of scholarship?
40-plus years in Quranic understanding and Islamic mysticism, which is humbling, to be honest. We're
Yeah.
trying to synthesize decades of his profound research into a conversation, and we're using AI to help us organize and recap the lecture points.
So the disclaimer.
Exactly. The nuance, the real depth, it belongs to Dr. Riza. If we oversimplify or, misinterpret anything, that's completely on us, not him.
Well said. So let's get into the structure of this rigged game. Dr. Riza breaks down this concept of dunya, the material world, versus ahira, the hereafter. But he doesn't use that standard world is bad, heaven is good logic. He uses a metaphor that actually gave me chills. The whirlpool.
It's such a powerful image. This comes from his analysis of Surah Al-Ankabut, verse 64. The verse describes the life of this world as lav and la'ib.
Which usually gets translated as amusement and play.
Yeah, which sounds so harmless.
Totally. Life is a playground. I can get behind that.
But that completely misses the danger. Dr. Riza digs into the word itself. Lav isn't just entertainment. It's a specific kind of distraction. It's a force of attraction that pulls you away from what's vital.
And that's where the whirlpool comes in.
That's where it comes in.
Okay, so walk me through the physics of this, because when I think whirlpool, I just think of getting sucked under.
Well, think about where the current is strongest. On the
Right.
periphery, the outer edge, the pole is gentle.
Right.
You're just paddling along, looking at the nice things, thinking, I can swim away whenever I want. You feel like you're in control.
That's the I can quit anytime phase of everything.
Precisely. But the nature of love is that it's magnetic. As you drift closer to the center, maybe you get that promotion, maybe you buy the bigger house, the rotation speeds up, the pull becomes exponential. You start to lose agency. You aren't really swimming anymore. The water is just spinning you.
And we usually think the center is the goal, right? We want to be at the center of attention, the center of the action. We think that's where the peace is, the eye of the storm.
Dr. Riza completely flips that. In this model, the center isn't calm. The center is the crush point.
The crush point.
It's where all the debris gets ground down and submerged. If you dive too deep into the material world, you don't find satisfaction, you find destruction.
Yeah.
You get crushed by the weight of your own attachments.
That explains that feeling of burnout, the people who have it all, but just look, completely hollowed out. They've reached the center of the whirlpool.
And they can't get out. So that's love. Then you have the second term, lob, play.
And the analogy here is the sandcastle, which I have to say felt a little bit like a personal attack on my real estate aspirations.
It hits home, doesn't it? The analogy is a child at the beach. They spend hours building this perfect castle with a moat, a bridge, everything.
Oh, yeah. They are intensely serious about it. If another kid kicks it over, they cry. It's their whole reality.
Exactly. It's their entire reality in that moment. But the parents are just sitting in their beach chairs watching.
And the parents know the truth.
They know the tide is coming in at 6 o'clock. They know the castle is just piled up sand. It's temporary.
So in this scenario, we are the kids.
We are the kids. But Dr. Riza says, look at the adult playing in the real world. You spend 40 years building a property empire.
Right?
You have deeds, titles, insurance. You think you own it. But from the divine perspective, that skyscraper is just sand. You didn't own the earth before you were born, and you surrender the title the second you die. It
Oh,
was never yours. You were just playing with it for an afternoon.
that's a heavy perspective shift. It makes the whole idea of ownership feel like an illusion.
It is an illusion, and once you see it as a game, you stop crying when the tide comes in. But this is where Dr. Riza gets surgical. He moves to Surah Al-Hadid, verse 20,
Right.
and he lays out this roadmap of exactly how this game traps us as we age.
Yeah.
He breaks it down into 5 distinct stages.
This part fascinated me because it really does mirror the human life cycle almost perfectly. It's like a psychological map, but for distraction.
It starts innocent. Stage 1 is laib, play. That's childhood. Toys, game.
Okay.
Stage 2 is live, amusement. That's the teenage years, early 20s.
Yeah.
Chasing experiences, parties, concerts. You're looking for the next thrill.
Been there, done that. But then we hit adulthood. Stage 3, Zina.
Zina, it means adornment or decoration. This is the stage where we become obsessed with presentation.
Curating the feed.
It's the age of the personal brand. I mean, in the past, maybe it was wearing heavy gold or intricate silk. Today, it's the carefully staged photo, the perfect outfit, the renovated kitchen.
Mhm.
But Dr. Riza points out the psychological cost of this. Why do we decorate?
To look good. To impress people.
Exactly. But think about the vulnerability that creates. Dr. Riza notes that people will burden themselves, literally carrying heavy jewelry or taking on massive debt for a remodel just to get a compliment from someone else.
You're enslaving yourself to the viewer.
Yes. And if the viewer doesn't clap,
It hurts.
it actually hurts.
Yeah.
If someone walks into your newly decorated house and says, "Oh, I would have chosen a different color," you feel a physical pain. Why?
Because you've tied your self-worth to the walls.
You've attached your ego to the decoration. That's the trap of Zina.
I feel very seen right now. It's actually embarrassing how much a bad comment can ruin my day. But it gets darker than just decoration. Stage 4 is Tafakkur.
Kafakur. Mutual boasting. The root of the word implies competition. This is where you graduate from "I want to look good" to "I want to look better than you."
So this is where the rat race really kicks into high gear.
It's the shift from enjoyment to rivalry. My car is newer than yours. My job title is more prestigious than yours. The joy of the thing itself, the car, the house, is gone. The only pleasure left is the feeling of superiority.
Which is a zero-sum game, because there's always someone with a bigger boat.
Always. You can never really win at Tafakkur. And because you can't win, you slide into the final terminal stage. Stage 5, Takathur.
Takathur, the competition in increase.
This is pure hoarding. It's the obsession with numbers. It's not even about status anymore. It's about the score. How many zeros in the bank account? How many followers?
How many acres of land?
Accumulation for its own sake.
Dr. Riza tells a story here that I actually had to rewind to make sure I heard it right. It sounds like satire, but it's a historical account.
It does, but it highlights the absurdity of the human ego. There are these 2 tribes arguing about who is more prominent. They were deep in Tafakkur, so they started counting. We have more warriors. We have more nobles.
And the count was close, right?
Very close.
Yeah.
So one tribe realizes they're losing the head count of living members. But they don't stop. They don't just say, "Okay, you win."
I marched the entire tribe to the graveyard.
To the graveyard. They start pointing at the graves of their ancestors. This one was ours, count him. That one was ours, count him.
Oh.
They were tallying up rotting bones just to win an argument about who had more.
That is completely unhinged. You're telling me they were claiming dead bodies as points on a scoreboard.
It seems insane to us. But Dr. Riza asks, is it really any different from what we do? We count digital numbers on a server money we will never spend, likes from people we will never meet, and we think it gives us substance.
Wow.
We are counting dust and thinking it makes us immortal.
Yeah.
That is the delusion of Takathur.
It really exposes the madness of it all. We're just counting different kinds of dust.
And this leads to the pivot in the lecture. And honestly, this was the part that was a bit of a mind bender for me, but once it clicked, it changed everything. We usually view Dunya, the world, and Akira, the hereafter, as a timeline. I'm alive now, I die, then I go to the hereafter.
Right. Life A, then life B.
Dr. Riza challenges that. He introduces the concept of simultaneity. He references a hadith of the Prophet that says the hereafter is in the company of the world.
In the company of enough. So they're roommates.
In a way. It means they're happening at the same time. The hereafter isn't just a place you go to. It's a reality that is just veiled by this one. And Dr. Riza gets very specific about what this means for hell and heaven.
Usually we think of hell as, a pit of fire waiting for us in the future.
But Dr. Riza asks, what is the substance of that fire? For the person trapped in that whirlpool, the person obsessed with boasting and hoarding, the fire is burning right now.
Where?
It's inside the chest. It's an internal fire.
Oh.
Think about the physical sensation of extreme jealousy, or the panic of losing your wealth, or that burning stress of needing to outdo your neighbor. That heat, that constriction in your chest.
Right.
Dr. Riza argues that the fire of hell, just manifesting in the present tense.
Wow, so the anxiety isn't a warning sign of the fire, it is the fire.
It's the smoke of the fire. And this explains a very common modern problem, the fear of silence.
Oh, this hit me hard. The fact that I can't eat lunch without watching a video.
Right. Why do we do that? Dr. Riza suggests it's because we are terrified of being alone with ourselves. When you turn off the noise, when you remove the love, the distraction, what's left? If your internal world is full of greed, jealousy, and anger, then silence just means sitting in that fire.
Yeah.
It actually hurts.
So we turn on the TV, we scroll TikTok, we blast music.
We use noise to numb the pain of our own spiritual state.
We're distracting ourselves from our own burning. That is bleak, but it makes so much sense.
But you can flip it. Consider the mu'min, the true believer, someone who is detached from the game.
They're the ones who seem annoyingly calm in a crisis.
Exactly. Because they are walking around with heaven inside them right now. That's sakina. It's like a cool breeze. They can sit in an empty room for hours and feel joy because they enjoy the company of their own soul.
So they don't need the distraction?
Because there is no fire to put out.
So the goal isn't just to get to heaven when you die, it's to cultivate a heavenly state of being right now so you can actually stand to be alive.
That's the simultaneity of worlds.
Right.
You're choosing which one to live in every single day.
Yeah.
Just based on your internal state.
Okay, I'm sold on the concept. But practically speaking, how do I know which one I'm building? Because, I like to think I'm a decent person, but I also really, really want that corner office. Is there a litmus test?
Dr. Riza offers a really practical tool here, the test of permanence versus transience. He says to analyze your pleasures.
Break that down.
Okay, take a physical pleasure. A great steak dinner. It's delicious, right? But how long does that pleasure last?
While I'm chewing. Maybe 20 minutes if I eat really slow.
And once you swallow,
gone. Usually replaced by regret if I ate too much of it.
that is funny. It's fleeting. That's the signature of dunya. Now compare that to a spiritual pleasure.
Yeah.
Let's say you spent a weekend helping a friend move. It was heavy, sweaty, miserable work in the moment.
Right.
Or maybe you fasted for a day. Physically, it was hard.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about it a week later or a year later?
You feel good about it. There's a sense of, I don't know, a solidity, a satisfaction.
That sweetness creates a memory that doesn't fade. It's permanent. That is a taste of Akira.
Wow.
Dr. Riza says if you want to know the value of an action, just check its shelf life. If the joy dies the moment the action stops, it's worldly. If the joy persists and grows, it's spiritual.
That's a great heuristic, but there was a warning attached to this that I think is really important. Dr. Riza talks about religious materialism.
This is the most dangerous trap of all. Because you can take the tools of the Akira prayer, charity, building mosques, and use them for dunya purposes.
Doing the right thing for the wrong reason?
Exactly. If you're donating money just so your name is on the plaque, that's zina, adornment. If you're memorizing scripture just so you can win debates and look smarter than everyone else, that's tafakur, boasting.
So you can be standing in the middle of a prayer rug looking incredibly pious, but internally you're just drowning in the whirlpool.
You've just decorated your little section of the whirlpool with religious aesthetics, but your ego is still in the driver's seat. Dr. Riza warns this is a subtle entry into the fire because you convince yourself you're safe.
So if the world is a whirlpool and even religion can be a trap, how do we actually get out? We can't just stop working or eating. We have to live here.
And Dr. Riza is very clear about this. The solution isn't physical isolation. You don't need to move to a cave. The exit is ilm, which is knowledge, and marifat, which is deep insight.
Knowledge sounds a bit abstract. What are we supposed to be knowing exactly?
It's about seeing the matrix code, so to speak. It's about recognizing the trap so it loses its power over you. He references Surah Ad-Dukhan, where God says, He did not create the heavens and earth in play.
There's a serious purpose to all this.
A very serious purpose.
Huh.
The goal is to be in the world, but not of it. To use the money, use the career, use the influence, but as tools for your growth and to help others, not as sources of your self-worth.
Dr. Riza used one final image that really stuck with me. The grave.
It's the ultimate reality check. He describes a decorated grave, marble, calligraphy, flowers, that's the Zina. But insight, Marifat, is the ability to look at that marble and know that underneath there is just a decaying body.
It sounds morbid, but
But it's liberating, because when you look at that shiny new car or that celebrity lifestyle, insight lets you see the inside. You realize it's just marble on a grave if there's no spiritual life in it.
and once you see the toy is just a toy.
You can put it down, you're
Yeah.
free, you can walk away from the sandcastle without crying.
Exactly.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the physics of the whirlpool to the madness of counting graves, and this idea that we're building our own heaven or hell right now in real time.
It's a lot to process. It is. And to help with that processing, I want to leave our listeners with the challenge that Dr. Riza alluded to. We're calling it the Solitude Challenge.
It sounds simple, but it is not easy.
Tonight, when you get home, or right now if you can, turn off the phone, put it in another room, turn off the TV, no books, no podcasts. Just sit in a chair by yourself in total silence for 10 minutes.
And just observe, don't judge it, just watch what happens.
Yeah.
Do you feel peace? Do you feel relief? Or do you feel that itch, the anxiety rising up?
But that reaction will tell you everything you need to know about which world you're really living in.
And if you feel the fire, well, at least you know where the work begins.
A terrifying but necessary experiment. A huge thanks again to Dr. Haider Riza for the inspiration. And thank you for diving deep with us. We'll see you on the next one.
Goodbye, and think deeply.